Do you remember when you were little and your parents, aunts, and uncles would give you that, "you better behave" look? They didn't say any words, but you believe they meant it. How can you forget, right? Well, I remember being in second grade, going to public school in Queens, New York. My mom picked me up early from school, which was unusual. She was a bit flustered in a hurry and making me hustle to make the subway. I remember arriving into a room that had a few rows of white foldable chairs. She walked me to the front and said, "Sit down," and gave me the look. She went to the side of the room, and the man started calling out names, eventually calling my mom. She stepped forward, and the man handed her what I know now to be was her diploma. She exhaled, looked at me, and smiled. She was now a nurse's aide. As she approached me, her pride just radiated. That look I will also never forget. With success, there were also challenges at home. We would have qualified for food stamps. Friends and family insisted that we apply, but my dad refused. He worked hard as an auto-body man. Long days, late nights, on weekends, side jobs, just to make ends meet. No somos pobres, y no se lo voy a demostrar. We're not poor, and I'm not going to show them that. I recently asked my dad, why didn't we apply for food stamps? It's there for families that need them, and we would have benefited from them. His response, when you were born, the hospital told us that mom should say dad is not around. That way, you will get more financial support. We didn't have much in savings, so that's what we did. And I promised myself that we would never do that again. You see, at a really young age, I learned that when you support someone's pride, you fuel dreams. So why would we support a system that asks people to hide how amazing they are, how hardworking they are, before they can get access to help? Perhaps that is why Life has led me to help build Up Together, an online community that trusts and invests in families. Today, there are 45 million families living at or below the federal poverty line. Many of them are caught on the crossroads of having to hide their strengths, their family supports, their savings, their businesses. If they don't, they run the risk of losing access to government subsidies, access to programs and services. Despite this system, families are making huge strides. According to the last census study, of the 45 million households living at or below the federal poverty line, 35 million actually moved above. Let me say that again. 35 million households actually moved above. That is amazing and counter to the existing narrative that exists of low-income communities today, that they're poor because they're lazy, they make bad decisions, that they're moochers, bad parents. Families are finding a way, just like my family did. But low-income families are no different than anyone else. They're facing the same predicaments. Life happens. Your kid gets sick, your car breaks down, you lose hours at work, and all of a sudden you find yourself in this precarious situation with a very small financial cushion. And because there isn't a system that is investing in your progress, according to that same census study, half of the 35 million households that moved up will move right back under within 5 years. Now imagine a country that would invest in those families. Imagine a country that would learn from them, that would deploy resources and capital so we can feel that momentum. At Up Together, we're not only imagining, but daring to show what it looks like to see families for their strengths. What does that mean? Well, in Up Together, we are learning from families and sharing their wisdom. There are no case managers, no social workers. Solutions are led and shared via a network of peers. In Up Together, families can track the progress that they're making around all these different areas of their life. whether it's to improve their health, improve their kids' grades, find a better job. Whatever it is, Up Together becomes your life's Fitbit. What we're learning is that when you build a platform based on trust, you start seeing the invisible. We're seeing, for example, $8 million of social capital being exchanged in community. That is your neighbor coming over to babysit for you while you go to school. That's me helping a friend go to work because their car broke down. We're learning about the 500 families that are pooling their dollars together. That's $20, $50 a month, informally creating lending circles, saving clubs, loan pools. And they have amassed up to $3 million in the course of 2 years. And to be clear, that's not us doing it, that's families doing it. We're learning about the informal businesses that exist in our communities. A quarter of the families that are part of Up Together have reported having a family at some point in time. But this resiliency is seldomly tracked or even taken into account when we're designing programs and services. But we're doing it. We're doing it in Up Together. We're tracking it. We're creating a new environment, one in which families can access dollars so that they can invest in their initiatives. And what are they using these dollars for? They're helping to pay down high-interest debt. They're trying to repair their cars, buying book supplies for their kids, or even going to the museum so they can bond with their family. And the impact? Well, when families self-define their well-being and lead the way, income levels go up, savings rise, and the utilization of government subsidies decrease. But if an Up Together member were here today, what they would say is, yeah, the dollars are nice, but the biggest impact is a renewed sense of pride and dignity because I am leading the way. And I'm also creating a stronger community for me and my children. But what the families are doing in Up Together, while amazing, it's not good enough. The 3,000 members is just not enough. Up Together alone is not good enough. There are still 35 million families and millions more that are interacting with a system that is not investing in their strengths. But I get it. You can't invest in what you can't see. So let's change that. Join us. Join us in creating new environments, one in which we're learning from families, from the experts. Join us in taking these lessons and thinking differently about how we're designing policies and programs. Join us in putting dollars straight in the hands of families so we can continue to fuel that momentum, that capacity that we know is innate in our low-income communities. Join us so that we could all rise up together. Thank you.